Hey, another week of Poke Nation, and got money you can loan me after last weekend?
What do you mean?
Got a few dollars here or there?
Oh, that's already been spent. It's already been spent.
$600,000 check to play LSU. Highest payday in McNeese State history.
It was a good one. It was a good one. It was a good one. We needed it though, buddy. I'll tell you that.
All right, so you're on the field with your son.
Yeah, you saw that.
We've got some tape from the game, and tell me about the atmosphere and what your experience was.
It was awesome. I mean, truth be told, I mean, you know, it's an SEC football game, and there's just nothing like it. I tell friends, you know, all across the country that, and I've coached all over the country, that you know, the tailgate experience, football down here, it really is a religion. It's a culture, and to be in Tiger Stadium, be on the field, especially with my son, was something that I'll always remember, and it's just a great experience. And I thought we really played well. Obviously, here's a touchdown run late in the game, which was really I thought was really important for us moving forward.
As I can see, Cody got the last word in.
Yeah, that's right. But it was just neat, you know, and obviously I think the bigger story, Jim, was you have two Louisiana schools, right? You have the hurricanes we went through, and then you have the Ida that, you know, Baton Rouge went through, and just to see two Louisiana schools playing football together on that stage was something really cool. And there's obviously Cody and Coach O, and what a special moment and special time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it is nice to see that if they're going to give $600,000 to play, it stays in the state. I mean,
100%.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
We talk about the fact that you want to keep those games. You always want to keep those games going. Very important for the smaller school, especially.
No doubt about it. Because, you know, I mean, if you're LSU and you're, I mean, you want to keep the money in the state, and I respect them a lot for playing a lot of in-state, you know, schools like Nichols and Northwestern and us, because, you know,
they can pick and choose.
For sure. And obviously we're working right now to get on the schedule as soon as we can to go back.
Yeah, you want to get in the rotation.
100%. I mean, as soon as we got back on Sunday, I started making calls to try to get back on the schedule.
I thought, you know, had you been upstairs, I would have asked you that there, but you were on the field, which in a very nice-looking Bermuda-type shirt, very relaxing shirt.
Well, it was good. You know, it is hot, but I don't get invited upstairs. Only the big-time media people.
It's your room. It's your suite.
It's big-time media people go up there.
It said visiting athletic director's suite.
You know, I wasn't aware, so I just stayed on the field, and you know, I was with the people because I'm about
You're
the people.
a people person. That's what you're about.
And I'll tell you this: the tailgate. Oh. Poke Nation turned out for the tailgate. It was awesome.
I heard it. I heard it was very good. I will say this.
I was going to get you a beer, but you never showed up.
I will say this. Somebody asked me the difference between the two. I parked 20 steps from my seat at Cowboy Stadium. Again. I was a little bit further away. I had to swim the Mississippi to get across.
Darth Vader. Everyone knows who Darth Vader is. And I mean, and listen, hey, they should. So you get prime parking, you get the suite. Was the food good up there?
Oh yeah,
of course. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
okay.
You know, it's the real thing. I mean, it's big. But I thought to be honest with you, the steps you guys have taken in the last year with the way you do press conferences, with the way you do that. Those are the steps in the right direction to look like a program just like them.
Well, I'm glad you said that, and all kidding aside, but, you know, I've been a lot of different places and been in a lot of different suites and those things, and seeing what it really truly looks like. The professionalism, just how you treat people, and all those little details and all those things matter. And I'm really happy with where our program is, because we're definitely trending in the right direction in that way. And but yeah, it was a great experience.
When you get to go to places like that and you see suites like that and you see things like that, are those things you're going to bring to when you rebuild your press box and that?
No doubt.
Just the feel?
No doubt. No, I mean, all kidding aside, I did walk around the suite level. But I did take some pictures. I took, you know, like for me, I'm taking pictures of, okay, I love that signage. Okay, that's part of the suites. I'd like to add that. I mean, there's for sure, 100%. I'm always looking to learn, always looking to try to enhance our own program, and it's not a better place to look than Tigerland.
No, and I that's what I admire about you guys is it's not our way is the only way. No. You guys are at least looking around and saying, and you're not just looking at LSU and saying, okay, they can do that because they have the money. You look at other programs on your same level and say, we like what they do there. You pick and choose.
100%. I mean, think about it. I've always said you can do two things with this success, right? You can criticize it or you can analyze it. And I just choose to analyze it. If people are doing something really cool or really neat or it's great, well, why don't we try to do that here? How can we do that? How can we make that even better and make that our own? And it's just a philosophy. And I think that, you know, again, I say it all the time, sitting behind your desk and trying to lead a department, sitting behind a desk, crunching numbers, you're never going to get there. I mean, all those things have to be done, but you have to be out and about and figure out what the people want, and where we can go as a program, and I'm excited about where we're headed.
When we come back on Poke Nation, we'll have volleyball coach Christy Porter, another person who's trying to build the program from within, on Poke Nation right after this.
Welcome back to Poke Nation. It's a pleasure and an honor to have Coach Christy Porter. Welcome to Poke Nation, Coach.
Thank you. First time.
Well, we are so excited that you're here. Okay, so let's dive right into it. You're finally playing volleyball on campus. Yes. I know it's not the Legacy Center, but you're on campus, and you're off to an unbelievable start. So tell Poke Nation how great it is to be back on campus and where your team is at right now.
Well, for us, playing last year off campus and everything that we kind of went through was difficult for the team. So being back on campus is a blessing for us. Our kids love it. They get to play in an environment that's familiar to them. They get to be around our student body, and so that's something that was important for them, to represent our university well, you know, in our facility, whichever facility that is.
For sure. Well, you guys are off to a great start. Yeah. You're playing really well. Talk about some of the new talent and the biggest difference between last year and this year. Well,
we're young, so it's a gift and a curse because we're young. So they're learning, they're improving every day, they're getting better. As they continue to grow, as we get more practices and more matches under our belt, I think that we're going to continue to see them rise a little bit. Off to 5-3 start, so I can't complain. We're doing well, competing against some really good teams, and they're again getting better every day. I'm excited to see where we are from this day till 2 weeks from now.
The neat thing is, and I know Darth Vader here will ask you a couple questions in a second, but the thing that's great is when Monroe came in here and Lamar came in here, and we just put it on them.
Yeah, so I mean, they get fired up to play in Lake Charles. We're still learning how to play away games, which is kind of different mentally. So, but when we're home, they love it. They get excited. It's our crowd, their family, their friends, and they really just want to put on a show for you guys. So they're doing a good job of defending home court.
Now, you guys, everybody talks about the whole COVID-19 and all that, and people forget it's still about. You lost a match to that last week, didn't you?
We lost 2, or we had to cancel 2 matches due to the other team. They had a couple of positive tests, so we were forced to cancel those 2 matches. But yeah.
So yeah, it's still around. One thing I want to ask you is some of the freshmen you got a name, Spencer Tillman's daughter.
Spencer Tillman. Oh, Bailey Tillman. Yes.
Yes. That's pretty impressive because other coaches, for a program, a coach or someone like a Spencer Tillman that's an athlete, he's going to teach his kid to go to the right place. You have to sell in that case, you have to sell somebody who knows the system. What does it mean to get athletes like that?
It's very important to building your program and creating the level of success that you want. And she's such an amazing kid, player, that it was just a natural fit for her to be here. It feels like it was meant to be.
One thing about it is that you have a player in your team that's a nursing student that you kind of changed practice times for. Talk about her day, because she goes 5 in the morning until the end of practice.
Well, we have a lot of nursing majors on our team, and a lot of programs don't allow you to have that or major in nursing for volleyball just because of the schedule and how rigorous it is. But for us, we think it's very important to adjust what we need to do in order to make sure that they get to pursue what they want to after college. And it is difficult. It's difficult for them. They wake up at 5 in the morning to go lift, and then they have their clinicals starting at 6, 7 in the morning sometimes. So they have full days, and they still come to practice with a great attitude, ready to work, and they never complain, which is amazing.
That's an unbelievable commitment.
It is, and I'll tell you this, and that shows a lot of the character of Coach Porter and her staff, because she's right. There's a lot of programs across
No,
the
you
country
couldn't do that.
in Division I, where you say, no, you can't be in this major because we need to practice at this time. And I really commend Coach and the program that she's running and she's building, because they are putting the student athletes and the student athlete well-being first. And that, I always say this, that will help in recruiting, because the word's going to get out that, you know what, you can actually come here and major in something that you really want to do, and we're going to work around it and still be competitive and still be good, but be able to get the major you want. So the sky's the limit for this program that Coach is building because of the simple decisions like that.
No, that's an interesting point, because I've heard of a lot of kids that have to change majors because of that. You come from UCLA.
Yes.
Which is a volleyball mecca area. You come to Lake Charles, which volleyball is not #1.
Sure. Yes.
What's that selling point that you're trying to make to kind of change that culture?
Well, just that. It's not a mecca yet. So we're building, we're growing, we're trying to get into the community. We want to give more people exposure to volleyball. And I think once they come to some matches, meet our kids, that we can start to convert some of those fans into true fans.
And how important will it be to get into your own arena when that happens, because you can sell that arena?
Well, of course, that is one of the biggest selling points for us, but for right now, we can't control what we can't control. We're just happy to play wherever, whatever space we have, we'll make it our own, and hopefully we'll make you proud.
Well, make sure he fixes your arena for you.
We're
fixing it. We are fixing it. And you know, it was really important that, and I know we're going to get to this in the next segment, but we went out and purchased a sport court for Coach, just to have for volleyball, so that when we play in the rec center, we can actually play on a real floor that is good enough for her girls. And obviously it's not the Legacy Center, but all of our basketballs and volleyball are still displaced. People still don't realize all the trials and tribulations that these programs are still going through because of the hurricane.
Well, we come back on Poke Nation. We'll talk to Coach Porter, but maybe we'll have Heath get me a new floor for my house when we get back right after this. Poke Nation. Coach Chrissy Porter from Volleyball, and did I get that right?
Of course, you're always right. Just ask you.
You looked at me like I was really. I thought I stumbled for something. We asked a little bit about the culture change in that. What was it like for culture change for you to come from California? I know I came from California. Heath's been all over, but what was it like for you from California to here?
Well, I'm originally from Texas, so it really wasn't much of a culture change. It was returning home. That's what it feels like, being back home. I love the South. I don't think I'll ever leave the South again. So it really wasn't much of a change at all coming back.
Your first year here, though, you're greeted with 2 hurricanes. like every other coach there. You were more into crisis management than you were into coaching. What did you learn from that experience? So
many things, and you really don't. As you go through it, you're trying to find your way, but on the other side of it, you see just how much you just didn't know and how much you've grown through it. So I had to learn how to manage a roster of players that are kind of scattered to the wind, and how to keep the parents happy, how to keep the players happy in a situation that was difficult for pretty much everyone. How to keep them motivated when, you know, we weren't able to practice or play for months. So the lessons you learn are difficult in the situation, but on the other side of it, it really makes you a better coach.
It's true, you know, and I've always said, and I think you probably, you know, feel the same way, Coach, but coaching is just leadership. Right, but when you go through a really hard time and you go through the 2 hurricanes and all your kids displaced, what is the biggest thing from a leadership standpoint that you learned through that experience?
From a leadership standpoint, it really became more about my players. Forgetting whatever needs I had to be on the court, it became about them and making sure that they were okay, making sure that they were, you know, able to adjust in a way where they could stay focused, continue their studies because they were still in school. So putting volleyball aside, I had to learn as a leader that volleyball needed to be put aside for a second and just focus on their health, their well-being, and making sure that they were okay.
We talk a lot about football going from spring to right into fall, but you guys did basically the same thing.
Sure.
What are adjustments you had to do in that time frame? Because your workout and your year changed just like theirs.
Definitely. For us, it was kind of a benefit for us to be able to compete in the spring and then roll right into fall. It felt like a continuation. Like I said earlier, we didn't get to practice at all in the fall, so getting the opportunity to play in the spring kind of helped us prepare for the fall. So there really wasn't much of an adjustment. It felt like more of a continuation.
So tell me this, and I know Polk Nation wants to know because I get asked all the time. So you don't have a facility, the home facility, I should say, in the Legacy Center. Tell me how you recruit. Tell me how you recruit to Lake Charles, especially this year, playing in the rec center. What do you sell, and how are you getting the quality players that you're getting now? Because anyone who watched you last year and now watch you now, the talent level is gotten better.
True. And that's really what it is. It's who we're recruiting. We recruit blue-collar kids that want to come in, that want to work. Yes, the Legacy Center is beautiful, but that should not be the reason that they're coming to play here. There's a culture, a history here that we really try to sell to our players, and that's what they want to come for. They want to come for the work. They want to be nationally recognized in our sport. And so it's not about all the pretty things. It's about what we want to accomplish. It's about the community here who really supports our players. We have more people host us for dinners than I can count, and they love it. So they feel welcome. They feel like they're part of the community, and that's really what we're selling. We're selling the people here.
That's one thing I do notice is that the fans that are here want to be a part of the program,
no doubt,
more than anything else. But you still have to sell to the students. Are you getting a good response from your students? Because in the past, students didn't always come out to events.
Well, I think so. We are trying to motivate our student body to come to matches. We are out. Our kids live in the dorm, so they're recruiting their friends, the other students that are in their classes to come to matches. So I think we're getting the support that we would like on campus.
Well, that's his big thing, is to make it an experience.
It's true, and we actually, we restructured the entire athletic department last year, and part of that was to get like Jen Green, who is over marketing and student engagement and fan engagement. They're on campus all the time. Promoting events and promoting the block party, promoting volleyball, and it is neat. It's a neat environment, and the program's only going to continue to grow and get better with what Coach is doing. I'm so happy with where she has the program headed. Her and her staff are doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
You don't miss Los Angeles?
No, I do. There are elements that I miss about LA, but there are lots of things that I am very happy not to endure, like traffic on the 405, the pollution and the smog, earthquakes. I'm okay with not having any of that.
Yeah, I always get a kick out of people saying, "Oh, the traffic's terrible here." Like you've seen nothing.
I laugh all the time. I do the same thing.
You've seen nothing. Well, Coach, I want to thank you for joining us this week on Polk Nation, and continued success.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
We'll be right back after this. Coach from UCLA, that's
pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to start a beach volleyball program down here now?
Maybe. It has been talked about. We'll see what happens.
What do you mean it's been talked about? Really?
You don't. I know you have your sources.
Oh, I don't
see, you don't have all your sources.
I don't have any source there. I've got no beach source. How's that? No beach source.
Yeah, but she's great. She's done a great job in a really, really tough situation. And yeah, it's getting the sport court for her was a really big deal for me because she was displaced last year, and we wanted to figure out a way to play on campus. And the only way we could play on campus was the rec center, but you can't play on a rubber floor. So going out and getting her a sport court, and when you go out there and it's all blue and gold, it is really cool, and it's a great environment. It's an intimate environment, but getting her on campus was a huge priority, and I'm glad it worked out.
No, that's interesting because one thing you've done is you have gone and said, this is what my coaches need. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to hit you up for a tough one. With all the rain and everything, can you get football in an indoor facility?
I mean,
you want to take that next step?
I mean, it's for sure. It's been talked about. The one that I really like a lot is the one at UAB. I've obviously done some research on them where it's open. You know, it's not a completely closed in because I don't know if we truly need to be all the way closed in. But for sure, I mean, that's something that
Have you seen the one at ULL?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because they can keep that open and closed.
They can, and I like that a lot. But 100%, I think that is obviously, you know, on the horizon. When all those things, I don't know yet, but for sure, it's things that I've thought about, because if ultimately, you know, down the road, wherever long that is, we get to be where we ultimately want to be.